All right, well, good morning and happy Father's Day to all those fathers out there. I'm going to read a quick poem about what makes a dad. God took the strength of a mountain, the majesty of a tree, the warmth of a summer sun, the calm of a quiet sea, the generous soul of nature, the comforting arm of night, the wisdom of the ages, the power of an eagle's flight, the joy of a morning spring, and the faith of a mustard seed, the patience of eternity, the depth of a family in need. Then God combined these qualities. When there was nothing more to add, he knew his masterpiece was done, and so he called it Dad. I really love that little poem. And I just want to share a quick story. The best Father's Day for me was when my son showed up with a Father's Day gift for me as a single mom. It was so touching, and I just sat and cried. And that sentiment that we don't all have a father in our life, and it doesn't make us less than. And in fact, it makes those parents more than. So I just want to honor all the other single parents, both moms and dads, who don't have a partner in their life. So I thank you.
So I want to tell you a story about these 4 men who were at the hospital, and they were at the hospital in the waiting room, all waiting for their wives to give birth. Greg, can you turn that light on? Thanks. So the nurse comes out to the first man, and she says, "Congratulations, you have twins." And he's like, "Oh, how odd is that? I work for the Minnesota Twins." So the nurse comes out to the next guy and she goes, "Congratulations, you have triplets." He went, "Okay, this is weird. I work for the 3M company." So the nurse comes out again to the third guy and says, "Congratulations, you have quadruplets." He goes, "This is really crazy. I work for the Four Seasons." So the fourth dad is over there groaning and moaning and banging his head against the wall. And they said, "What are you doing? What's the problem?" And he said, "I work for 7-Up." Thank you. Had to lighten that up just a wee bit. So this morning I want to talk about that divine masculine energy that we each and all have within us. We each possess that energy, and that energy lifts us up. That's what keeps us strong and going and looking for the next new thing in our life. It's that part of us that allows and encourages us to explore and to build. I know that not everyone had a strong father in their life to grow up with. Oh, this wasn't supposed to happen. I was detaching. Didn't go well. No. Some of you already know my father is in transition toward the end of his life. And so it's a really interesting Father's Day for me this year. I was very blessed. My father has been a significant part of my life for 58 years. Not one of them would I ever change. Well, maybe 1 or 2. However, he's been an absolutely fabulous role model, and I know how lucky I am. And the more people I meet in my life, the more I realize just how fortunate and blessed I am to have had that figure in my life for all these years. What I learned from my father has been, obviously too vast to even begin to mention. However, some of the really key points were this. He taught me not to be afraid to step into the unknown. Else I wouldn't be doing this, right? He encouraged me and he supported me in doing that. That was important to him. He taught me to welcome challenges. He taught me to walk the path less traveled because he knew that's where I could expand and grow. Since it's Father's Day, I thought we'd look at how we define masculinity. Mostly in our culture, we generally describe it using different adjectives like strength, vigor, boldness, committed, focus, effort. We relate those to that masculine energy. It's that ability to hammer out details into expressions of grace and beauty, form, function. We equate masculinity with qualities of wisdom, of protection, of guidance. And we also equate it with those childlike qualities of exploration, of unlimited joy. And when we integrate those divine masculine qualities with those divine feminine qualities, those of intuition, spiritual growth, the birth of new ideas, we then exhibit an expression of completeness, an expression of total balance. I love the idea of rocks, and hopefully you noticed that we had a couple up here, because they possess in and of themselves a great deal of masculine qualities that we can equate to our own lives. Strength, power, courage, resilience. Those are those things that we think of, aren't they, when we talk about that masculine energy. When you look at a rock, you can see different colors, you can see different grains, nicks, and scars. Some look clear. Others look very murky. They show patterns. They may have holes in them. You certainly can't tell a rock's entire history by looking only at the exterior. You need to open it up. You need to look inside, investigate its origins. Now, over time, rocks can become withered, become worn, and yet their essence absolutely remains the same, just like you. We can use rocks as a really powerful reminder of our divine masculine qualities, because rocks can be tossed around by the wind, by the rain, moved from one place to another, and they always survive. They survive because of who they are, of what they are. Conditions can reshape the rocks. However, it's still a rock. It adapts to whatever conditions it's put in. It goes with the flow. Now, our culture uses that simile, solid as a rock. And that means that we have what it takes to do what needs to be done. That means we can count on that person when they're solid as a rock. We're steadfast in our responsibilities and who we are and what we're able and capable of doing. We can be counted on in good times and in challenging times. Strength is one of those qualities that we all have that perpetuates that role of leadership, of purpose, of support. And when we are that, it then motivates other people to perform to their best of their abilities as well, and to share that, and so on, and so on, and so on. Rocks have the courage to be where they are, to adapt to their surroundings, whatever it looks like. They don't complain. They don't want for anything. They don't have any unhealthy attachments. They don't experience disappointments, fear, desires, none of that. They just are. They become part of the landscape. Wherever they are, they just fit right in. They're unyielding, they're practical, they're firmly grounded, and wherever they end up is where they need to be. When we respond with courage to be where we are, to be who we are, it opens up that flow for the divine to move through. Now, it does take a lot of courage in many circumstances for us to exhibit confidence in life. I get that. I think we've all had an experience with that. However, to recognize those circumstances, those obstacles and challenges that we faced are for our highest good is what's important as we move through that. We just need to relax into it like a rock. Just be there. Just be there. With the quality of courage, you believe in the power of you. Nobody else, you. And you have that power within you. And by example, you're inspiring other people to have that same courage within themselves. Now there's nothing, absolutely nothing, that can penetrate a rock. Not the rain, not the sand when it tosses and moves those rocks around from place to place. It can certainly change the rock's appearance over time, the weather. Anytime there's those intense conditions, it can change. But you know what? It doesn't change its essence. And you too have experiences in life. And not one of those experiences has changed your essence. Not one. Rocks have the ability to recover from or adjust easily to any change, especially when it's moved from one place to another. Does a rock care? No. It doesn't argue that the river is better than the stream, or that the water's more clear, or that the temperature was better, or the conditions were nicer. It doesn't complain about any of those things. It just is. It accepts change. It makes itself at home and rests very comfortably in whatever setting it is placed in. And that's resilience. Resilience is the capacity to endure change. And that is something that we all have within us. To endure that change and to bounce back from any challenges that may come up in our life. To stand in our truth, no matter what. Now, we're going to waver sometimes. We're human beings. That's what we do. We're here to learn. We're here to grow. We're here to understand all those things. The resilience, however, has that capability to carry us through our most difficult times. That's what it's all about. And that allows us to maintain a positive view of ourselves and a positive view of the world, and to have confidence in ourselves and our strengths, in our abilities to move through this life with great peace, with great joy, even and especially when things don't always show up like we want them to, or they don't change for us quick enough. We don't have that immediate payoff we're looking for. A rock can be a really unique reminder for us of those gifts that we each and all inherently possess. If you find yourself stressed out, overwhelmed by life's daily stuff, grab a rock. Feel its energy. Let it be a reminder of a particular quality that you may have forgotten you have, because it's there. It's a great way to pull yourself back into the immediate state of knowing who you are and what you're capable of. So this morning we celebrate masculinity in its true light. A masculinity that doesn't dominate, it equalizes. It doesn't compete, it strengthens and refines. It's not aggressive, it's powerful, it's strong, and it's lasting. And so this morning I want to close with a quote by Napoleon Hill. The strongest oak of the forest is not the one that is protected from the storm and hidden from the sun. It's the one that stands in the open, where it's compelled to struggle for its existence against the winds, the rains, and the scorching sun. Thank you for being here while I shared this truth this morning as I understand it.
So this is our Zen poem for June 21st, 2015. Fathers can be solitary mountains. They are there to lean on throughout life. We love them very much. A loving father is essential to raising a well-adjusted child, yet not everyone is blessed with a loving father. But if you are, be grateful every moment you have them in your life. The beauty, the joy, and their very existence. The compass of our every journey, guiding our inner eye, helping us to fly. Take me with you on this day. Together we shall have a blessed day. Remembering that when we are separated, we are still together and forever blessed. Being a father is happy all the time and knowing there is someone who cares for you with no exceptions. I'm blessed to have such a great daughter and family. Life is because of family and love. We are all love, made from God's joy and unconditional love. We are whole and brilliantly connected to everything and each other. In spirit, mind, and body, with love, peace, and joy. I love you, Dad, with all my heart. Thank you for strength, courage, and everything. You are my rock and my soul. You are my sunshine. So the world is brighter and my life is more fulfilled. May my God be yours. And thank you, God, for my Father. My joy is my family. Thank you for a wonderful grandfather. My joy shines out to all because I have the universe of joy in my heart. I celebrate today for my dad.